Hello.
Hello guys, first of all, yes, I know the game has been out for 2 years now, and it's old as shit, but whatever. Anyway, here are 2 time-saving tips for the Epsilon missions in GTA 5. Keep in mind, the first tip has 2 methods, and you'll see what I mean here in a second. And the second tip isn't necessarily a time-saving tip, but I have some math shit to get my point across of what I am thinking of, how it saves time, kind of. Alright, so here's the first method of this tip. I personally prefer this way, but it's actually longer than the second method, but whatever. So it doesn't matter where you start, as long as you're in an area, a taxi can reach you. So now, bring up your phone and call the shitty taxi company. While the taxi arrives, bring up your map and set a waypoint to near the top of the map. Preferably Paleto Bay because it's near the top of the map. When the taxi arrives, get in and travel to the waypoint, but skip the ride. Just as you arrive to the waypoint and get out of the taxi, set a waypoint near the bottom of the map, preferably at the docks because it's the lowest part of the map that you can actually get to in a taxi. And get back into the taxi and skip the drive to the docks. Then just keep doing this step over and over and over again until you have worn the robes for a total of 10 days. And here's some math shit that will help you process this shit and whatever. It's roughly 8 miles from the docks to Paleto Bay, which means shit all other than the fact that the longer the ride, the more day it takes up. It takes $185 to get from one end to the other end of the map. It'll take roughly 15 trips back and forth to complete one day, but that'll completely depend on where you start, when you start, and whether or not you mess up and have to recall a taxi and all that other shit. The second method of this tip is to go to Michael's house and sleep or save the game. I believe when I did this method, it actually took roughly around 15 times to complete 4 days, which is really good. When you sleep, it goes forward 6 hours in game time, and according to IGN, this method will take about 40 times to do in order to complete all 10 days. And yes, this method is faster than the first, but I like the first one a bit more because I think it's fun to get in the taxi and go places and shit. There's other ways to do this other than these 2 methods, but they're not as good, for example, doing missions and dying. The second tip, you all know that there's a shitty Epsilon mission where you have to run around in Sandy Shores, or the desert area, for 5 miles, with the Epsilon robes on. Now for this tip, I recommend you select an area you want to run in. It has to be in the desert area. Make sure there's no animals nearby that will kill you, and make sure you don't leave the area because it will restart and you will have to restart all that shit, and you won't want to do that because it sucks ass. For this, I chose to run in the Sandy Shores Airport. I decided to run around the landing strip, and running around the landing strip is 0.9 miles, and you will need to run 5 miles in total. And so you'll have to run around the landing strip approximately 5 to 6 times. It was actually like 5.55 repeating and other dumb shit. And this will get you to 5 miles. It's kind of fast. I mean, it's not the fastest because there's no time saving really, but I think it's better than the tip thing where you attach the rubber band to your controller and you walk around a circle. But anyway, those were some tips for the Epsilon missions because they'll speed up the mission and make it faster and better for you because they can take a long ass time. Because if you do not do the first tip, it will take you 6 hours real life time to complete 10 days in-game time. So if you like this, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. See you, goodbye, thank you for watching.